Hey peoples, just trying to find another wire to this reverse light here. Unfortunately I'm using a iPhone to record because I've left my camcorder elsewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the safety switch from underneath the car. Can't see it like that, but anyway, you'll see in a minute. And put it in reverse for starters to see if the reverse light triggers on and off, and it shouldn't. But let's have a look. Okay, so the car's not started yet, but just showing you that I'll put it in reverse with the ignition on, reverse light's on. Okay, so this is the safety switch here. Tells the van when it's in reverse, park, whatnot. Now there's a switch that I've unplugged there, and you can see there's a wire there that's green with yellow trace, I think.
What? Outside?
Let's let me have a bit of a closer look there. No, it's red with yellow trace. And can't really get in the spot there. There's a black and white trace, black, red with yellow trace, red with blue trace. Okay. More wiring harness there. Anyway, it looks like we've got two mains in there that carry a heavy current. I would assume that that's probably to do with the black and black white, which would be could be anything actually. Probably to do with the starter starting the car, but I'd like to think that it was sending power to the reverse lights, why it's so heavy. Anyway, I'm going to take this off as well when I've finished, and there's my little helper over there that wants to get on the van with me. And
this is not, that's not all because it's yummy. It's yummy now.
Okay, and
I can drink it all up.
So yeah, I'll take this switch out and put a multimeter on it, and I'm going to tag it which is reverse and so forth on the switch here, and put a multimeter on the switch itself, find out what triggers the reverse light to come on, and hopefully you can help this person out with connecting up a wireless camera to his reverse lights without having to run a wire all the way into the tailgate. So I'll just get it out and I'll turn the ignition on and put it in reverse, and it should not. Reverse lights should not come on. Now, if they do, then I'll be wasting my time for this switch. No, they don't. Okay, so definitely in reverse there. Alright, so I'll put the switch off and go from there. Alright, from this connection here, where I've got the multimeter on there, that gives a 0.47 voltage out of that one point right there, and the rest of them give a 0. At the moment the car is all completely turned off. So now I'll test it again, and I'll leave it in park with the ignition on and have a look at the volts, and I'll put it in reverse and do the same. Okay, so now we have the ignition on but not in reverse yet. That first point that I said was 0.47 volt, now 13.6, and let's go over more. So that one at the bottom there shows 0.2, which is nothing. The first black connection, 13.3. Second black connection is nothing. There, nothing. 0.4 on that one. Oh, sorry, 4.0 rather. 0.40. Did say it right the first time. 0. That's basically 0. So you got your power here and your power here, and the rest of it's kind of like just half volts or less. So now I'll put it in reverse and see what else we got. Okay, so I've tested it all again, what's in reverse. In the same, the top left hand corner there is basically a 12 volt, and out of the two big ones at the bottom, the one on the left is a 12 volt as well, and the rest of them show nothing or 0.4, things like that. So now I'll take the switch off, take it out, and put a multimeter on the end there, and see if we can work it out. Okay. Alright, so here's the safety switch. I've taken it out of the van so I could show you, and there we got, that's park, reverse, drive, second, first. So when it's out of the car it doesn't click, it's just kind of like slides, you can feel it by your hands that you know that there's reverse. I tagged reverse, parking first and reverse before taking it out. Tagged driving second once I got it here. Anyway, I've already taken the screws out and things are already falling apart on me, so I wanted to take this part together with you. I haven't actually looked inside myself yet, so that's it sits on there. It's not really too sure what that's for there, just I guess added protection around this area here for some reason. Anyway, get that off. This came out, this just fell out from the inside, so that's terrible. Let's pull this apart. Okay, so we got nothing there really. What we're looking here is there's a very basic switch. So this part here that fell out goes in here. Okay, just trying to work this out myself. First time I've ever had one of these apart. I couldn't find any information about it on the internet. So this is basically it. So that'll be park and that'll be reverse. Reverse is tagging just these 2 points here. This is when you put in reverse, it's tagging this point here only. So that would be right there. No, sorry, I'm wrong. Go back. That's second. So that's low, second. That's drive. This is doing it. So it's park. That's reverse. So it should be neutral, which makes sense because you got this point here and that point there showing up again. So you got the 4 tags for park. You got 4 tags for neutral. So that'll be, say you can start the van again in neutral. So that makes sense there. Just neutral, and then we're going into drive, which is just these 2 points here. And we you're going into, got to be second and then first. So we're focusing on reverse. Okay, so I've drawn up a bit of a schematic here, diagram. This whole exercise is mainly to help somebody out with the question of how to wire up a reverse cam power line without having to run a wire from the tailgate all the way to the head unit. And so I investigated this, and I've done a multimeter check on all the connections here. So you've got all these different points and here, all these different contacts, and at 9 contact, you can see I've drawn a line there. It's actually the same contact that goes along down to there, and that's when you turn the ignition on, that's a main 12 volt, and that's what I was mainly focusing on for this video here. And so you've also got number 3, which is another 12 volt that activates down here, and I don't think this continues to stay active. I'm not too sure though, once you put it into drive. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. My main focus here was right now, after testing all the points and numbering them so I knew exactly what terminals I was working with, and trying all this out, I found that once you turn the ignition on, this becomes a main 12 volt that's always on, and when you put it into reverse, the only point of contact is here. Even though you got this one down here, there's no, you can see where the contact here kind of like goes down a bit, so there's no actual contact. So the only 2 connections we're working on is right here, and so obviously when you put it into reverse, it sends 12 volt from here to here, which you can then tap your wire into to go to the head deck or head unit. And I've drawn a little diagram down here. If I was to do this, this is how I'll do it. I would put a relay in between, so because a relay draws next to no current, just to activate it. So you'd have your number 4 wire, which would then trigger the relay, and you'd draw power straight from the main to go to the head unit. That would be a better way, but you don't need to. I mean, like, the head units don't draw a lot of power themselves, so you'd probably just be able to go forget about the relay and put a wire straight away from number 4 directly to the head unit. However, I'd still put a diode in the middle, somewhere along the line, so that way you know that power only travels one way, which is going to your head unit to activate the stereo for reverse cam, and you wouldn't want something to go wrong at the stereo glitch or something like that, and send 12 volt back down the line to activate the reverse lights and whatever else in the car might indicate that it's in reverse. So to prevent that from happening, either use a diode, which is the most easiest way, or chuck a relay in there like I've described here. So these are all the wires that sorry, these are all the wires that I basically just just copied it straight off the images and put them in place and tagged them. So number 1 has no wire on it on the opposite side on my 1992 Tarago, and number 5 has no wire on the opposite side. So that brings us to another point. But anyway, this answers the question for connecting up a wire from your head unit to another point in the car. So when you put it in reverse, it tells the reverse cam to come on. Alright, so I'll leave that here right now, and I'll continue on to the next bit. Okay, continuing on. So removed all the there's another image, so not distracted by all the other stuff that was on there. So basically, points of contact when in park, reverse, neutral, drive, second or first. These points that I've circled are the points that actually make contact. You've got the bottom row here, which these two will make contact, these two will make contact, and so forth, and the top ones. Sorry. And when well, I'll show you that in a second actually. So you've got all those there, you get the gist of that, what's going on in what gear and so forth. Now to my wiring on a 92 Tarago, be the same on a 92 Previa. Not too sure about later models, so you'd want to just double check this yourself. But I don't have a number 1 plug, and actually see if I can show you the image. Yeah, so I've got no 1 and I've got no 5. Nothing, no wires in them at all. So when you put it in park, the only one you need to, that's concerned is this point here, 2 and 3. So if you say for instance had a faulty safety switch, didn't matter how you tried to put it in park, the van wouldn't start. And but you've known that there's been a problem there for a while because you've had to, like, it's slowly been working its way faulty. You know, these two wires here, 2 and 3. Put a jumper in those two there. Get yourself out of trouble. Yeah, put a jumper in there. Start your van. I would personally pull the jumper straight back out while the van's running. Plug it back in. But yeah, that's a bypass to get that going. And the same points for neutral as well, but you're actually telling the van you're in neutral because this number 6 wire is actually there. So when you put this in neutral, I don't know what in the van it sends the signal to, probably the ECU. But yeah, so when in neutral, it's either telling the van not to start in neutral. I'm pretty sure it can, but I haven't actually tested that myself. Anyway, that's your hack, if you wish, to start your van if you've got a faulty starter switch to get yourself going, get yourself out of trouble. And another option would be, which I would find pretty good to do, but would be to have a LED display on your dash where you got park, reverse, neutral drive, 2 and 1 as well. So don't think I've got any images of that showing up. I'll just pause this for a second and I'll find one. Okay, so with Google Images, I found this. This is what I'm talking about. If you could have a LED display that you could actually buy and mount to your dash, put it in front of your current one, that would be excellent. You could actually wire up every single one of these to tell you what gear you're in, or even if you had a panel that lit up like that and then all the lights underneath would change to tell you what gear you're in. You could actually do that, but no such animal exists. The only thing I can find, maybe there's something close to that, is for a motorbike. And you could wire this up, like you'd have to cut the plug off there, but you could wire this up to go to every single point for say, I'd say 1, 2, 3, I guess. So you could go classing 3 as drive. You can get other ones that actually I think this one tells you as well. Is any information on it? Comes in multiple different colors that you could get. Doesn't show you a very good description on this one here. But they come in different colors and everything. And pretty sure it tells you when you're in park as well. So that's the only thing I can find on eBay anyway to do some sort of digital gear indicator. It'd be excellent if they made one for a car. You could actually, I'll just close this off. Here you go. could actually wire up each single point from like park, reverse, like you can see there you go, park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, and first. If you tapped into every single wire of those, you could have a dash display telling you what gear you're in LED instead of the way it's currently laid out. So it's optional. That pretty much explains everything about it, and also gives you the bypass on how to start your van if your safety switch is faulty to keep you going. So I hope this footage was knowledgeable to anybody that was interested. Like I said, I couldn't find any information on the internet about it, not even in the workshop manual. Nothing about color codes of the wires or anything. And so I'll leave this with a few shots of the plug itself on the other end of the color codes, of the colors rather, on the other side of the plug. I probably didn't take the best shots I could have, but looking close enough, you can see what color goes where and so forth. And judging by the rest of this footage that I've already shown, it tells you where it goes anyway. So again, thanks for watching, and yeah, till the next video. Alright, thanks guys.